All right, so tonight is a little bit more of a personal video versus one on showcasing something from the 80s and 90s, but I thought I'd give you a little bit of a tour of my workshop. I've been doing this stuff for years, but I'm not a professional. I am just a hobbyist, and I have fun. So, getting stuff working, getting things to operate, cranking music, and sometimes not even in the audiophile way, to me is the most important. At the end of the day, if I'm having fun and I'm enjoying things, I like it. So, as I said last week, I wasn't going to post a video, so I'm just going to show you around, talk about what I do. So these are all my bins. I have all sorts of things in here, you name it. LED, wire caps, small screws, alligator clips. So I keep everything organized nicely. The idea here is if I need a part, I can find it. And that's kind of like where I have the small stuff. And then I also have my work, like my tool chest, and there's all sorts of cables and parts in here. So in my basement by my workbench, here's where I've got my monster silver receivers. They're over here. They're not really appropriate for this particular group, but I do have them here. I've got a bench system here, which is a DVD recorder and an LCD TV and a really good hi-fi VCR and then a receiver. So I'll hook things up from time to time here. But over here, these are all just different totes. They're full of electronics, full of parts. And then these are things that are kind of like in my queue, which I'm working on. Like I've got a preamp here for a Kenwood, as well as two Sony Super VHS hi-fi VCRs, which need to be fixed. Record collection here. And so tonight, for instance, what I just got done fixing is an Onkyo Integra tape deck. This thing is really, really awesome. Problem was, these potentiometers are bad. They just went bad. They're carbon and they go bad. So I found a couple on eBay, had them shipped, and I put them in tonight, and this thing is working like a charm. So this will be on a video at some point soon. It's a 1983-84 Onkyo tape deck. I've got a Technics graphic equalizer here. This is not the biggest one, but it's a nice one with a spectrum analyzer. I'm in the process of getting a couple new transistors. So, but this is my bench system, and I've got a little stereo. I've got my drill and my various parts. And so some other tools I use, I have my dim bulb tester. I made this myself, so if I ever have something that's older that I want to plug in and give it the dim bulb test, I've got a number of different bulbs I will use. I've also got variacs. I've got a couple of them. There's one there, there's one there. So depending on what I'm looking to do, got the right equipment. And then I also have all my test equipment. So I got the best multimeter you could find, the free Harbor Freight one here, which actually works. I've got also capacitor tester. One thing I'd suggest, if you don't have it, get some synthetic oil. This stuff works wonders on any parts. Get some rubber restore. The stuff that I buy is actually this right here. It's called Rubber Renew. Put this on the feet, on belts, on pinch rollers, you name it. Just apply it liberally. It will prolong it and keep things from gumming up. Got WD-40. I've got my electronics cleaner. I also have Deoxit, but it's in the other room. So those are just some of the tools. But this is my bench where all the action happens before I go and do the demos. All right. My son, who's Scott, who's 12, these are his electronics. So this is like the graveyard of stuff that I don't want. I'll give to him, and some of it's good as well. So back here is organized chaos. These are all totes, and in here are different electronics, and I know pretty much where everything is. Some of these are open face. A lot of these have not been demoed yet, so I'll be doing some demonstrations of these at some point. These are the receivers that all of you have been watching me crank up. But there's quite a few that are in these totes. I also have some oscilloscopes and some things like that. Here's my Radio Shack receivers. So it's a little out of control. It's kind of hard to keep up with all of it. But I built these shelves, and you know, being an electronics hobbyist, I really enjoy collecting and doing this stuff. So that's just a little tour of my workshop. And then as we go out here, you'll see I have a jukebox from '72, and that works. And then here's my beautiful daughter, Aubrey. She's sitting in front, but this is actually where I do my demos. We have a bunch of speakers. These are the 80s big box speakers. Here's one that's ready to go. I really won't post it on here, but it's a '72 realistic receiver. But that's going to be posted in a different Facebook group in the next couple days. But anyways, this is where I crank the music, and yeah, the kids are down here, they're doing their thing, and that's okay. My son, he's into lots of audio, and he's only 12, but I bought him some PV speakers, and we got some other stuff here. We also have a mixer, a bunch of amps. You may have seen this Crown one at one point on a video. And then there's my work from home office, which is where I bring the money in and work normally day to day. One last thing I'm going to mention. If you don't know, I'm the Kmart cassettes guy. If you do a search for Mark Davis and Kmart cassettes, you are going to come across a video that was viral in 2015. And these are the actual cassette tapes that were played in Kmart stores. I used to work for Kmart growing up, and I collected all the tapes. I digitized them and did a YouTube video, and there's quite a following on them. And this goes back to like 1989. This is actually the first tape. So just do a web search. I won't talk much about it, but I'm the guy that put the Kmart cassette tapes out on the internet. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this quick tour. It was kind of a throw together. I'll have some videos next week as normal to show you guys. And I do this for fun. I don't do it to get attention or to seek anything out. I just do it because it's something that I enjoy doing. And I hope you guys can at least learn from the stories and the details I post. Take care.